Welcome back to part 28 of our 100-part CPC exam series. I am absolutely pumped you're here for this explainer. Before we jump in, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Decode Healthcare with Harshal. Today, we are completely cracking the code on the integumentary system. We're going to go over the golden rules you absolutely need to nail the 2026 exam. Let's get right into it.
Think of this as your syllabus for today's masterclass. We're covering the Integumentary System CPT overview, debridement depth and area, lesion excision math rules, wound closure repair categories, tissue transfers and flaps, and we'll wrap up with the Part 28 cheat sheet.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, Integumentary System CPT Overview. We really need to establish the exact boundaries of this section first.
So, this section spans codes 10021 to 1949-99. It covers the skin, subcutaneous tissues, nails, and pilonidal cysts. Also, a quick reminder, while breasts have their own unique subcategory in the manual, breast procedures still live right here under these integumentary rules.
Moving right along to Section 2, Debridement Depth and Area. This is a heavily tested topic, specifically how we code the transition from superficial to deep tissue removal.
Now, what's really interesting here is how perfectly these coding keywords map to actual human anatomy. Look at how superficial links directly to the epidermis. Partial thickness means we've hit the dermis, and full thickness, that means the wound penetrates straight through to that yellow subcu adipose layer.
So here is your absolute golden rule for debridement. You always code based on the deepest tissue level reached. I mean, even if superficial layers were removed on the way down, it's that deepest layer that dictates your CPT code. Oh, and you must calculate your total surface area in square centimeters, always.
Next up is Section 3, Lesion Excision Math Rules. I want you to think of this segment as a very precise geometry problem.
First things first, you have to choose your code family. Benign codes live in the 11400s, malignant are in the 11600s. And remember, choosing between these two families is completely driven by the final pathology report. That report is what confirms the clinical behavior of the lesion. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to calculate the size. Look closely at that formula. You have to take the maximum lesion diameter and add the margin twice. You might be wondering why twice. Well, because that margin exists on both sides of the lesion. It goes all the way around. Let's break that math down step by step so it becomes second nature. Step 1, find the maximum diameter of the lesion itself. Step 2, take the narrowest margin documented and multiply it by 2. Step 3, add those numbers together. Boom! That total excise diameter is exactly what drives your final CPT code selection.
But listen to me loud and clear on this next point, because it's a critical exam rule. Never sum separate lesion diameters together. Literally never. Every single lesion excised is a distinct procedure and has to be reported separately. Do not let the exam trick you into adding two different lesions into one code.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into wound closure repair categories. We're looking at the escalation hierarchy of wound closures here.
Basically, wound repairs are grouped into three distinct categories: simple, intermediate, and complex. As the depth of the wound increases and the reconstructive requirements get more intense, your codes escalate right up this ladder. A simple repair is just your basic single-layer closure. Intermediate involves a layered closure of deeper tissues. But here is a major pro tip. A heavily contaminated wound requiring extensive cleaning can actually bump a single-layer closure right up to the intermediate level. Finally, complex closures involve serious reconstructive work, things like extensive debridement, scar revision, or undermining. Now, unlike lesions, you actually can add the length of wound repairs together. But this is an absolute unbreakable rule. You can only sum the lengths if the repairs are in the exact same classification, like, say, 2 intermediate repairs, and in the exact same anatomical code group. Never, ever mix categories. All right, our final core module is Section 5, Tissue Transfers and Flaps, focusing on guidelines found in the 14,000 to 14,350 code range.
So, the crucial point here is this critical unbundling rule. Flap and adjacent tissue transfer codes inherently include the excision of the lesion. You must never code a lesion excision separately when a tissue transfer or flap is performed at that exact same site. It's a package deal.
Well, you've survived the math and the rules.
Let's pull it all together in Section 6, our Part 28 cheat sheet. Get your screenshot buttons ready for this one.
Here are your top 4 takeaways to memorize. 1. Debridement codes follow the deepest layer reached. 2. Excision math is the maximum lesion diameter plus the narrowest margin multiplied by 2. 3. Only some wound repair lengths if they share the exact same category and anatomy. And 4. Flaps always include the lesion excision. Study these hard. Next time, in Part 29, we are tackling the musculoskeletal system. We're talking fractures, dislocations, arthroscopy, and the wild world of spine coding rules. You definitely won't want to miss it. Until then, ask yourself, if adjacent tissue transfers inherently include the excision, how might that fundamentally change the way you read a complex surgical operative report tomorrow? Keep studying, and I'll see you in the next one.